when I train people, I always throw them moral courage scenarios. And like, what would you do? And I'll give you one. I want to get your thoughts on it. It'll ring true near and dear to you as a woman. And this is a true anecdote, true story, by the way. So a district sales manager has a very important client meeting coming up. And it's a very important client. They've been trying to get in there forever. And it's so important that not only is the sales rep going, the district leader is going, both men, but the sales rep is a woman. The district's guy, the regional vice president, calls up the district guy and says, look, this is important. Susie, the sales rep, is obviously a young, good-looking woman. Here's what I need you to tell her to do. She needs to wear a short, appealing dress, and she needs to remove her wedding ring for this sales call. This is a true story, Kim. You're the district manager, and now I'm talking to leaders, sometimes individually and other times in the seminar. What do you do, Mr. or Ms. Manager? Your boss is a hard guy. He's your boss. He's going to be there. He is ordering you to tell your saleswoman to do this. What do you do? So I know what you would do, but what I tell them is, look, and often I've had people say, well, you really don't want to piss off your boss. And I mean, some people would actually do it. And so what I'm getting at is running through scenarios like this gives you a chance to exercise those moral courage. Like, I've never been because usually, Kim, when you have to exhibit moral courage, a lot of times it's right there. You got to do it right now. And you haven't had time to think about it and rehearse it. So I'll stop blathering on. What do you think about this?
Well, I think the more that you think about those difficult situations, like you said, kind of put yourself in those, what are kind of the worst case scenarios? The more you do hard things, the better you get at doing hard things, right? The more that you're willing to stand up in those moments and to be truthful and honest about the feedback, the better you get at it. And so if you can put yourself in those scenarios, certainly a leadership coach or somebody can help you with that. Yeah. You can do it on your own team. To put yourself in those scenarios, I think we get better at it. I mean, it's one of those things that it is really hard to do. You don't want to wait until that moment, like when all the stress is there, when all the fear is there, to be the first time you've thought about it. Now, you may not have thought about that exact scenario because that's pretty specific, but you've probably thought about some hard things and maybe standing up to a boss, standing up to a coworker, providing that feedback. I mean, I will tell you from a personal perspective, growing up in a community where it was very a male-dominated community, it was really hard for me to, if something was said that was maybe slightly inappropriate, like I really struggled personally with like, what do I say? What do I do? Over time, as I got more experienced, I had proven myself in the airplane, like it just became this, like I thought about it. I kind of thought about what I would say, and I figured out a way that I could do it and say it in a way that I felt comfortable with. And the best thing in those scenarios is when the individual doesn't have to say anything at all, that the people on the team stand up and say it for them. Yeah. But it's not easy. I mean, these are really hard things to do. And so to me, it's all about thinking about it in advance as much as you can, putting yourself through sometimes those difficult conversations and difficult scenarios so that in that moment, you're prepared to respond.